In any sport, confidence is essential to success, but what happens when that confidence becomes overconfidence? From devastating knockouts to unexpected submissions, serve as a reminder that in combat sports, anything can happen and no one is invincible. You'd think that these fighters already know that it's a bad idea to get overconfident in matches. History has proven time and time again that it's better to just fight and not let ego run things. Well, this next fight shows that despite history, some fighters just prefer to be cocky every time. Here is the fight between Jason Solomon and Amitesh Chaubey. The cockiness starts immediately during Solomon's walk to the cage. You can clearly see him walking and enjoying himself as the crowd cheers for him. He even had his boys walk with him, adding more fire to his walk. Solomon also grabbed the cage's bar to swing himself inside. The man had a lot of game in him. Now, could he live up to this in the actual fight? Well, let's find out. Solomon tried to strike first, but was met by Chaubey's powerful counterattack. This launched Solomon straight to the ground, ending the fight in just a few seconds. The next fight that we'll be showing is the one between Adonis Stevenson and Thomas Williams. You know how some fighters like to dance in the ring? Well, as it turns out, Thomas Williams is one of those fighters who enjoys showboating by throwing around dance moves. Before this, he actually appeared to be a serious fighter, landing some good punches against Stevenson. Well, not long after, he had the bright idea to showboat and taunt his opponent. Of course, this bit him back because in the fourth round, Stevenson fought back with a powerful left hook. Williams just went straight to the floor. The dancing cocky fighter tried to stand up, but time didn't let him. Don't dance and fight, people. Humble pie doesn't taste very good. Confidence is always a good thing when facing an opponent. However, too much of it is just plain cockiness. This video here is the match between Raulio Rodriguez and Ryan Garcia. The weigh-in alone was already filled with tension as Rodriguez didn't waste any time showing his opponent that he was the ring's boss. Out of nowhere, the fighter quickly pushed Garcia in the chest. Of course, Garcia wasn't too happy with the provocation. At this point, both fighters had a lot to say to each other. Soon enough, the match started and Rodriguez's cockiness went even higher, displaying silly moves. The man simply thought he had victory secured already. The two fighters continued going head-to-head, finding themselves in a lock. Despite being thrown off, Rodriguez became even cockier than ever, sticking his tongue out like a kid. His antics didn't last him long though, because Garcia kicked him out for good. The next clip we'll be talking about is the fight between Deontay Wilder and Bermane Stiverne. The pre-match conference quickly became the stage for Stiverne's cockiness when he vowed to break his opponent's ribs and jaw during their upcoming fight. He even went as far as saying that by the end of the fight, Wilder would go out packing and retire for good. Now, in the actual fight, things turned out totally different. Wilder dominated the match with his calmness and calculated moves. In the first round, Wilder threw a powerful jab that led Stiverne to the ground. The cocky fighter still had some hope left in him and went back up, but was quickly shut down when Wilder cornered him with a few more punches. At this point, not even his cockiness could help him. This next fight is between Frank Sanchez and Julian Fernandez. Immediately, one of them starts to showboat. Watch as Fernandez keeps on challenging his opponent even though he was actually the one being cornered in the ropes. With all his showboating and funny moves, you'd think that he was dominating the fight. Well, this man might just be dreaming things because he was losing the entire time. You can clearly see here that he's receiving a lot of blows from his opponent. During the 7th round, his taunting would eventually stop as Sanchez delivered a combination punch from the left and right against Fernandez, launching the cocky fighter through the ropes and out of the ring. That was certainly one embarrassing way to lose a fight. With all these insane karma stories during a fight, there's a very clear lesson to just fight cleanly. Here's a clip of the fight between Charles Latuparisa and Sultan Al-Nuami. Now this might just be the most extra entrance we'll see for today's video. Watch as Latuparisa explodes with some dance moves right before the start of the match. What on earth is he up to? He may have wanted to impress the crowd, but I think we can all agree that he just looked ridiculous the whole time. This made it even more iconic when he got his karma during the actual fight. He went down twice in the first round and got knocked out for the third time. He should have just kept his dancing moves on the dance floor. Up next is the fight between Javier Rodriguez and Quincy Westby. Can you guess who the overconfident fighter is? Well, for this match, it was none other than Quincy Westby. Like many of these cocky fighters, Westby thought he could win the fight by showboating and doing a bunch of funny faces toward his opponent. Just take a look at this man's facial expressions during the entire fight. Karma quickly came knocking when he became the receiving end of Javier's left hook. Just like that, the man is down and his soul might have just left his body. Here's another display of cockiness during a fight between Badri Hari and Peter Graham. In this fight, Badri Hari was the definition of cockiness, the type of confidence you hate to see in a fighter. His behavior during the pre-match conference was proof of how much his ego got to him. He smugly refused to shake hands with Graham and even called him a mere amateur of the sport. To make things worse, Badri tried to kiss his opponent, which landed him on the ground way before the fight even started. But his real karma came during the first few moments of the fight in the form of a spinning wheel kick. Just like that, the cocky fighter got what he deserved. Confidence. This one was a fight between Nate Campbell and Robbie Peden. Campbell was winning the whole thing, throwing several punches that Peden just couldn't fight back. He had a clear shot at victory until he made this one mistake that would cost him the entire match. Out of nowhere, Campbell just decided to let his ego take over and showboat. This opened up the perfect window for Peden to throw a left hook, which was enough to knock cocky Campbell to the ground. See folks, this is exactly why you should never let your guard down just to taunt your opponent. You don't want to be like this guy. So that's all for today's episode, folks. If you enjoyed watching, leave a like and share it with your friends. You can also comment and let us know what you'd like to see from this channel in the future. Also, subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. You'll want to check out our other videos. Stay tuned for more awesomeness. Thanks for watching.